Alright guys, so we're here at Billy Donovan's, ready to give you a 2-year update on this awesome aquarium.
So I'm headed down to the city right now to meet Quinn over at Billy Donovan's house. We're going to do some maintenance on the tank and a really cool 2-year update. If you didn't already know, we did set up a 180-gallon aquarium for Billy Donovan, who is the NBA head coach of the Chicago Bulls. We set this up 2 years ago. It was a very fun day. Billy was there. The assistant coach, Damian Cotter, was there as well, who's also into aquariums. And then 2 weeks later, we added the fish. We did a 1-year update 1 year ago. And now we're about to do the 2-year update. If you didn't already know, we've also been maintaining this aquarium and just being there anytime anything is needed. Since Quinn actually lives very close to Billy Donovan, he's been the one doing a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to the maintenance. I kind of check in here and there and do update videos and help clean some of the filters when needed. Another cool thing about this video is we have the return of Quinn.
Came in a 2-word statement which is now just begging to have a Nike campaign built around it, quote unquote, "I'm back."
Who has been kind of MIA on the channel the last couple months with the end of the school year and the end of his track season, but he'll be in a lot more videos, and Alec will as well, coming up very soon. We have a lot of very exciting videos to come, but I'm very excited to see Billy's tank. I haven't been there in about 6 months, so I'm going to be seeing a lot of the updates with you, and without further ado, let's get into it. And the construction on I-90 never stops.
It's been 84 years.
Alright, so I'm finally here. That traffic was not fun, but here's Quinn. Look who it is. Quinn, say hi to the viewers who haven't seen you in 3 months.
Hi.
Okay. And here's the 180-gallon aquarium as it sits today. As you can see, the water level dropped just a bit because we're about a week behind schedule when it comes to water changes. Front and center is one of my favorite cichlids, the Geophagus finni, which has some great color and fin extensions already. And then there's the Geophagus topos, which is typically a slow grower, but this has already put on some decent size and a little bit of color coming in on that head. As you can see, there's just a variety of Central and South American cichlids in this tank, but they've really coexisted nicely in this tank. As you can see, most of them look pretty good. The big Texas cichlid is always front and center anytime we're filming the tank. Definitely running the tank as a tank boss, but overall it hasn't been super aggressive, so we've lucked out when it comes to the Texas. A couple other fish in this tank, including the electric blue acara, the rainbow cichlid, which is bright yellow and orange and looking great, and then the firemouth in this tank is one that stood out to me, just having great size compared to when we put it into the tank. It isn't really colored up right now. Some of these cichlids aren't, as we just turned on the light and started messing around with the tank. And then in the back left of the tank, you might see the 2 severums in this tank, which are a red spot gold severum and a green severum, and they've bred a lot in this tank. Every couple weeks we'll either see eggs or fry. And next to the Texas, maybe the other biggest cichlid in this tank right now is the chocolate, which has been doing awesome, really colored up. It's a beautiful cichlid, and it's got some great size to it. It was really small when we introduced it to this tank, so it's great to see that it's grown a lot and doing really well in this community tank. And then before we start doing the water change on this tank, I'm just dropping in some food. We give this tank extreme pellets and flakes, so these are big fella pellets, and it's really cool to watch these cichlids go after the food. They're really aggressive going after the food in this tank. You might even see the small convict poke out here, but we also have this male Jack Dempsey, which is a really good size. It's probably 7 inches in length. It's not totally colored up right now, similar to the firemouth. It might just be that the lights just came on. Typically, the Jack Dempsey will get some darker coloration as they mature. This is a beautiful Jack Dempsey nonetheless, and definitely a focal point of this aquarium, as it is one of our favorite cichlids of all time and one of Billy's.
The Cichlid brothers in Chicago built him a fish tank, and his favorite fish in the fish tank, Jack Dempsey.
But overall, I would say all these fish have coexisted really well. There are some that are doing really well and colored up. Great to see this tank 2 years later. I'm gonna start doing some of the maintenance on this tank. This is what Quinn regularly does every couple weeks when he stops by. First, it looks like he's adding the Cichlid Ultra Zero to the Python to drain this tank for the water change. And what else do you do, Quinn?
So other than just giving the tank the typical water change that we do with all of our aquariums, I also clean the glass regularly, clean some of the algae off of the decor that's needed. Might have to level out some of the sand.
And also clean one of the filters today, right?
Yes, so cleaning the filters, definitely one thing that really helps with tank maintenance. Highly recommend that.
So let's get to it. So as the tank is draining, we just wiped off the glass really well. Quinn right now is pushing some of the sand around to level it out just a bit, and we're gonna pick up some of the rock structures that the cichlids had toppled over as they dug. It's really not gonna be something that we can totally fix. They're always gonna be digging through the sand, but at least making it look a little more level and getting a few of those rock caves back. And as Quinn is doing that, I'm gonna be taking this FX6 canister, giving it a nice cleaning today, and adding some new ChemiPure to it. The process is pretty simple for the FX6. We just got it opened up. We have the tank water draining here, so we're gonna use the tank water to rinse all of the mechanical and biomedia. We're gonna replace things like the ChemiPure with brush ChemiPure and get this filter looking great. Okay, so there's a clean tray and 2 more dirty ones to go. We got all 3 trays cleaned, and we have a new bag of ChemiPure. We're gonna put it into the FX6 and get this back on the tank. Hard work, but it pays off. So the FX6 is cleaned and back in place, and right now Quinn's doing a little update to the aquascape. As you can see, we drained the water a little bit more than we normally would for a water change, but we wanted to kind of update the scape a bit, and we might come back in a couple weeks with maybe some more rocks or some other type of scaping materials. All right, now we're filling the tank back up. It's just with tap water, similar temperature as the original tank water, and then we just add Chem Prime as it's filling, and it's good to go. Quinn did stir up a lot of the tank, so we might not get a very clear after shot, but I'll try to put in some footage of some of the fish throughout the video so you get a clear view.
Even though I stirred up the sand, I'm pretty confident this is the cleanest this tank will ever have been since the day we opened it. So I think Billy's gonna like the finished product and maybe give it a few days.
So we did a lot today, and we really stirred up the tank. As you can see, the filters are running, and if we gave it another hour or so, it would probably be crystal clear, but we have to hit the road here soon. Gwen's putting the final touches, which is the Fritz glass cleaner. So this is kind of what we add at the end of every water change and maintenance session, not only with his tank, but ours as well. But I'll show a quick clip of what the tank looks like right now, right before we leave. We may be back in a week or two to update the scape just a little bit more. Billy has some ideas potentially of how he wants to redo some of the rock work. But overall, with the 2-year update, I would say things are going very well with this tank, considering some of the aggressive cichlids that we have here together. The 180-gallon custom aquarium is a perfect footprint. Really like the sand, driftwood, and rocks together. The 2 FX6s have done great. The lighting, everything. It's really balanced out over those first 2 years, and some of the fish have really started to grow and really start to color up. But that does it for today's update, the 2-year progress on this tank. Quinn, good work with all the maintenance over the last couple years. Anything you want to say?
Go Bulls.